What's up, guys? Mr. Dan here. This is a not quite an out of the theater review of Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. This is a early the next morning in a frozen car review of Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. I wanted to do an out of the theater review last night, but I don't know. I just didn't do it, and I wish I went with somebody, because when I came out of the movie, they have this giant cardboard cutout. And unfortunately, they don't have it in the foyer. They had it in the hallway right outside of the theater, and it's a big display, and it says, the name of the title of the film, and there's a space where you can put your head through and get your picture taken. So if if it was in the foyer, I would have picked, grab some stranger to help me take a picture of it with my head through there. But yeah, so this is going to be sort of a hybrid of a full review and an out of the theater review, as I'm not going to do any edits or anything. I'm also reviewing this film as I've been thinking about holiday slashers and holiday horror films. And I've just watched, I jumped the gun a little bit on Christmas already. I got it a few months ago. I picked it up, and I just watched for the first time Violent Night with David Arbor, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. And it just kind of got me thinking about the ingredients that you need for a good holiday horror film. So maybe, something I'm kind of piecing together in my head. Maybe we'll do like a live stream. I'll have some guests and we'll talk about it. Some of the better ones. Now that we've got. I think my brother went to see It's a Wonderful Knife the other day. He said that was pretty good. So I might go check that one out. And I know some people have already seen this. I saw Lady Shasha did an out of the theater review. She got to go extra early this week, which I didn't watch because I didn't want to. I don't think she was going to spoil anything, but I wanted to go in totally fresh. Lady Shasha of the What Did I Just Watch channel. Check it out. Okay, so anyway, let's get on to the movie. Yeah, this is an Eli Roth movie, and it really felt like an Eli Roth movie, and I mean that in a good way. I like a lot of his films. I haven't loved every single one of them, but I don't have anything against him. I take his films one at a time, and there is kind of a meanness to this that I've seen in some of his other films, but it also with just there's a lot of black humor in this. I mean, there really is. There's some parts where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. As a filmmaker, I can't. So anyway, you guys know the plot, right? There's a mysterious figure in this town of Plymouth. I guess it's in Massachusetts. And by the way, the setting with the local colorful cast of characters is done to the hilt with the colorful accents, and screaming at each other. You've got different high schools that have rivalries. They're, constantly yelling at each other, cursing at each other. But there's a mysterious figure who's wearing a John Carver mask. He's the founder of this town, and he's killing people. Now, the film gets set up in the beginning with a scene of absolute carnage, and we've seen that before with Roth, even in a film that he produced, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it was set in, I don't remember where it was set. It might have been set in Peru, but he produced a film by another filmmaker with an earthquake, and when the earthquake happens, people are just getting impaled on things and bodies are flying. There's a few scenes like that in this movie, one of which kind of reminded me of the climax of American Werewolf in London. Because for those of you that saw the original Grindhouse trailer, which maybe I should mention, there's a scene of carnage involving vehicles at the end, and it's it's really good. Anyway, yes, so there was an original grimy, gritty Grindhouse trailer back. That was one of the trailers that was featured in Planet Terror. So a lot of people are sort of wondering if they're connected, if they haven't really been paying attention. So yeah, that fake trailer, which was like 4 minutes long and which was very ominous, white meat, dark meat, all meats will be served. That was the inspiration for this film, even though it took, I don't know what, like 18 years or something. I forget how long ago that was. Now, it doesn't have that grimy, gritty feel. It's set in like a modern setting, and modern teenagers and their cell phone usage are used very smartly in this film. And the killer has to contend with modern technology, with the ability of teenagers to communicate, and he can also use that against them. So I like it when films do that. It's not like, I left my cell phone at home. I can't do anything about it. At any rate, there's some really good characters in this. I mean, most people know that Patrick Dempsey plays the sheriff. The comedian Tim Dillon is in it in the beginning as a security guard. He has a few scenes. He's pretty funny. So the film also deals with Black Friday. It deals with the encroachment of Black Friday into Thanksgiving. And when my dad was still with us years ago, he was working at Boscov's, and there was a couple of Thanksgivings. We had to move it from the sit down time from 4 o'clock to 2 o'clock, so he can go home and do a shift. And it kind of sucked, So they talk about that a lot in the film, and then there's like a parade and a town ceremony because this town is linked to Thanksgiving. So I'm not going to go into the plot too much, but people start getting picked off, and it has to do with the events at the beginning of the film, and there's a few casts of characters. There's sort of a love triangle that reminds me of the original My Bloody Valentine, where you have one character that kind of leaves the town and comes back. There's some really obnoxious side characters that some of them really get it. I mean, they get it bad. And what do you want from a holiday slasher? This is one of the things I want to talk about on the channel between now and New Year's, I guess. You want it you want it to go with the holiday. You want it to take all of the traditions and, in the case of a slasher movie, the implements that are used in that holiday and incorporate them into the film. Violent Night did that great. They did a great job with that. I mean, a lot of people like Krampus. I didn't love Krampus, to be honest with you. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but fake snow bothered me. Anyway, that's a tangent. But Violent Night, the Christmas songs, people were getting choked with Christmas lights, various things that are used for recreation in wintertime are used as weapons. That's what you want. The same thing happened in this film. The guy's wearing a freaking pilgrim outfit, and he's killing people with things that are found on your dining room table for Thanksgiving dinner, and some other things that he just happens to grab, pitchforks and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the audience was kind of like laughing and kind of groaning, like, oh, some of the gross parts. It was sparsely attended. It was okay. It was, decent in attendance, but yeah, the audience seemed to enjoy it. You could hear people laughing and kind of groaning in a good way at some of the grosser parts. So I'm not going to go too much more into the plot. It essentially, plot-wise, I guess it was like a 9 out of 10. There's a pretty good mystery too, I have to say. This isn't like a jump on. This isn't like Make a Quickie. It's been like years based on the fake trailer. There's some thought into this, and there's some mystery, and there's some switcheroos, and it's pretty clever actually. So I'll definitely give them points for that. It's a good plot. What it actually does an even better job of as a movie is capturing that holiday feeling, of being a Thanksgiving slasher. It's very good at that. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Look forward to watching it again. Highly recommend it if you guys want to see a holiday horror film in the theater. I know we got holiday action coming up with Silent Night. I definitely want to see that. And there's some other ones out there, Violent Knife. But, if you're an Eli Roth fan, especially, this is probably the one for you. And it's a very good one. Let me know what you guys think after you see it. And I'll talk to you later. I'll be doing some, I might try to do 1 or 2 other Thanksgiving horror films. I mean, there are only 1 or 2 other Thanksgiving horror films. And then I've got some Christmas horror films coming up in when December starts. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Later.